There's a new moon in Leo the Lion on Sunday, August the 8th, which also happens to be International Year of the Cat. Leo new moons spill a good-natured generosity and warmth through the atmosphere. In the Southern Hemisphere, we celebrate Imbolc, the feast of the waxing light, when the wattle comes out, flagging the end of winter and the return of spring. And that's how it rolls with the Leo new moon. There's more light, confidence and assurance, more joy and celebration. The sun and moon have Mercury nearby, lighting up its cheeky trickster side and engaging in hearty conversations and banter. Mercury has just come out of some tough aspects with Pluto and Mars, bringing a definitive result to agreements and contracts over the past month. It's been a bit of a dark phase mentally, but now we're ready to socialise and get a sense of humour. Remembering to see the funny side is a good motto at the moment. Out of eyesight, Uranus in Taurus has been activated by the new moon, and it's sparking a bit of controversy. You might find yourself suddenly in the spotlight or spontaneously changing direction. Others might be tempted into a diva drama, especially fixed signs Aquarius, Scorp, Leo and Taurus. Uranus can turn a kitten into a Godzilla glamour puss. But take it in your stride and shrug it off where you can. Try not to take opposition as an attack or a rejection, unless it's literally something like a cyber attack, bullying or hacking, because there are reasons to be sensible with security during this moon phase. Uranus turns retrograde on the 19th, setting off more tripwires. It's shaking the frequency around comfort zones, and there are surprises around the corner. In the last few moon phases, we've seen Neptune and Pallas in Pisces, forging an alliance to expose cover-ups, injustice and illusion. Pallas is the goddess of strategy and war, and with Neptune, she's been instrumental in getting to the truth. For example, in the Jan 6 Capitol Hill riots and the Australian SAS war crimes. Her totem is the owl, who can see in the dark with 360-degree vision. Pallas and Neptune are also signatures for the immune system and represent the challenges the pandemic places on our natural defences. Neptune is getting a strengthening persistence from Pluto right now, and I read that as a positive shift in our overall ability to manage the impact of COVID-19 outside of full lockdown. Pluto is also able to bring some penetrating insight into any investigations that involve dirty secrets, so expect more on Alan Weisselberg, Trump Org, the Jan 6 riots and the Ben Roberts-Smith defamation case. During the new moon, Neptune also sits opposite Venus in Virgo, and this one sets up a grass is greener thing. What I want and what I have. Gems and Sag get a chance to make improvements, but Virgo and Pisces need to check the detail, look at realistic measures and try not to be swept away in the moment. Neptune has an invisible, spreading kind of energy, and this aspect can help you identify any blind spots when it comes to money, love, and sexually transmitted diseases. At the Aquarius full moon 2 weeks ago, Lilith had joined with the North Node in Gemini, opposing Juno on the South Node. This represented a turning point in serious commitments, where you had to let go of expectation or a key relationship if you wanted to find the authentic self-expression you're hankering for. Now square this nodal axis. Mars in Virgo has you poised on radical action and looking at commitments and expectation in a different way. For some, this will break down dodgy arrangements and lay down ultimatums with follow-through. Others will need to get clear on what they've agreed to and see if it lines up with their big picture direction. What you have right now is what you've got to work with. Are you satisfied? Are you sick of arguing about it? Mars is pushing for action and decisions, and even if you aren't ready to make a grand statement, you can get your head around it and mentally prepare. Virgo sees the pattern and finds practical solutions in stages. And if something's not right, Mars in this placement will warn you through your nervous system. Worry, anxiety, or an upset stomach are sure signs your boundaries have got blurred. Fortunately, Saturn has caught up with the game, sending good vibe trine energy to Lilith and the North Node. It can come in the form of a trusted friend, reliable backup, support, or recognition of your worth and independence. Because it's linked to the nodal axis, there's a sense of karmic balance giving back in your favour. If you've been authentic, it will be recognised. Capping it off, Saturn is plugged into an asteroid-powered Grand Trine. Vesta is in Libra, where something dormant, an essential truth or vital clue, becomes more formed, balanced, and reasonable to express. Saturn is legitimising a healthy boundary, or helping you take time out when you need to recharge. Caregivers are getting a voice, mental health is getting some understanding, and acts of service take on higher honour. Ceres, the goddess of cycles, seasons, crops and supplies, has joined Lilith's cause in Gemini, and they are exactly conjunct at 2 degrees during the new moon, amplifying their combined force and getting backbone from Saturn. On a global level, we're seeing what refuses to lie down, starting with climate change, wild weather, and the COVID pandemic, and taking us right up to #MeToo. Ceres represents the gifts of Mother Earth, and Lilith is raw feminine power. So their current conjunction, and close to the North Node in a Grand Trine, initiates a wave of feminine energy getting traction and authority. It's prepared to persevere. Ceres and Lilith show up when the truth has been taken for granted. And we have to remember, Ceres was right in the thick of the Pluto-Saturn conjunction in January 2020, stamping her imprint not only on the spread of COVID from Wuhan that month, but the Australian bushfires that burnt most of the country. Ceres and Lilith are both linked to truth and consequence. Together, they have a wild creative spirit in the way they interact. You can see it in the end of lockdown celebrated as Freedom Day in the UK, and even the floods in China and Europe. But looking ahead, also in the potential for COVID variants to flourish. Jupiter moved back into Aquarius on July 28, and with Ceres, will have an influence on the supply and access to vaccines, playing catch-up until the end of the year. If this Ceres-Lilith combo activates your personal chart at 2 degrees Gemini, this could be a really creative, fertile time when new parts of you emerge and get expressed, or where you face a confrontation from a position of empowerment rather than victimhood. Themes might revolve around parenthood, family, children, or your significant other, but it's worth noting both of these goddesses can go to the extremes of feast or famine, of holding out in negotiations until respect is given, of fearlessly raging against injustice. For all that, the asteroid goddesses have plugged into Saturn and form a distribution network of exactly what you need. Air signs Aquarius, Libra and Gemini, especially if you're born at the end of the month, might be brimming with ideas and wanting the time and space to play with them. In 2 weeks, we have our second Aqua full moon of the year. And what's got a bit messy or incomplete now gets a clearer signal then. In the meantime, remember to laugh. Use Leo energy to bring in the light and see the funny side and claim your space. The lion doesn't justify being king of the jungle, and doesn't waste energy killing everything that moves. That's for impulsive tigers. Take it on board and just shine like the sun. We're getting there. I'm Merryl Key, and this is my mystery school. Like, follow, share, and subscribe. If you want to learn more, go through my YouTube channel or contact my website www.merrylkey.com. Blessed be.